This is Backcountry Outdoors, and we're here. We're going to try our hand at painting a cutthroat trout. We'll get him primed up, and you can see how he turns out. Alright, we're going to get this cutthroat primed up in white. And this cutthroat's going to go similar to our brown trout, but we're going to do the dots a little different on this one. It's getting warmer here in Georgia. Last couple of days we've been at over 60 degrees. I'd love to went fishing, but unfortunately we were sick and didn't get to. I'm just glad we're down here painting some baits today. Alright, we got it primed up, and we'll get back to you at the next color. Alright, we got our Indian ink sepia loaded up, and we're going to give this thing a brown tint. Alright, we got the detail moss green in, and we're just going to hit him up with a little green, just a smidge, up above the center line, and around on his little head right there. Down the back. That's it. It's all for the detail green. Detail moss green. Okay, we got a little pearl satin gold. And we're going to give her just a little gold. Do that on both sides. And this pearl gold, some reason, sometimes does not like to spray. Alright, we'll get the next color loaded up. Okay, now we got some tortellini red. And we're going to give him his classic cutthroat look. Red on. A little higher on that one, just a little bit. Come up under here and paint just a little bit red back here. A little shading right there. And then we're going to paint this gill plate red all the way down. I've seen all kind of different color cutthroats. And I'm just doing the best of what I've seen before. There's some of them don't have a lot of red on them. Some of them have a whole lot of red. I like red, so I put a lot of red on mine. I think it's going to turn out good. We'll get some black dots on him, and let's see how he looks. I already got it ready. And we're going to do this with a paintbrush. With a focus. There. Focus. Alright. This is just a little skinny tipped paintbrush. We're going to barely dip it in the black. And we're going to try to dot him up. Put little bigger ones up top. Just get random with it. Just dot, 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 dot. Put your dots up top. And you can have a dot inside of a dot. I would keep my dots above the center because they don't have too many dots on their lower side. Most of them I've seen anyway do not. We don't have a lot of cutthroat around here. We mostly browns, rainbow, brook. Alright, we'll get some eyes on it and get it dipped into the KBS. Alright, it's time to get him down in the KBS and see how he turns out. I like these little dots a whole lot better than what I done. I'm going to redo the brown trout. We're going to redo it and put some smaller brown dots on him. Old cutthroat. we'll get him hung up and dried. We'll get some pictures of him. So we got that one painted up, and I think it turned out real good. Cutthroat, it turned out beautiful. People was asking about KBS, and I know I've got it in a container other than what it comes in, just because trying to open this and seal it and open it and seal it, it gets hard to do because it gets built up around the edge, and this stuff is rock hard. Once it dries, it's hard to get it open. So I even have trouble sometimes with this. I've seen some people put plastic over the top of the lid, and I'm going to try that next. I was using 2-part epoxy, and I just did not like the way the 2-part epoxy turned out. I had trouble. I fought it all the time. I had a nice lure turner, and I do use the lure turner sometimes with the KBS too. It helps level it out, but really with the KBS, I can hang them and it'll level itself out. I don't have to fight it. The only trouble sometimes with it is it would get on the bill. As it was drying, some of it would run down on the bill, and I would wind up having to sand it down. And I'm telling you, that stuff is so hard, it takes forever to sand down and get it back off and make it look right. So that's the reason why I'm leaving the tape on them. But like I said, I was using 2-part epoxy, and sometimes they turned out perfect. Sometimes it was an awful fight with it to get it to level out, and you'd have to recoat it and put it on the turner again, wait hours and hours and hours for it to even dry to touch it. At least after about 4 or 5 hours with the KBS, I can touch it. Just don't lay it down on nothing, because it will stick to whatever it is, and that's what my daughter did to the one I'm going to show y'all. We'll do some testing with and scratch it up and wire brush, whatever. It got laid down on a white table, and it did not peel the paint on the lure. It peeled the paint off the white table, and it is now permanently stuck to the lure. So we'll test it, and I'm going to wind up just sanding it down and repainting it and making another lure out of it. But KBS it's real good. I've got some buddies, and I may switch over to aluminum later on. Get the setup for the UV. I may switch over it, because the great thing about Alumilite is if you want to fish that lure today, you can. KBS, you're not going to fish it for a while. It takes at least, I would let it sit for a couple of days before I tried to fish it, because sometimes after a day it's still kind of tacky. And it all depends on temperature. During the summer months when I'm painting, it's not as bad. It don't take as long to dry, but during the winter months where it's, I can keep my shop at 60, 65 degrees, and then sometimes I have to take them in with me at night, because I don't want to leave the heat running all night down here. And if you're somewhere cold, you're definitely going to fight it. You're going to have to take them in the house, and it's got to be at least 50 degrees to cure. And the colder it is, the slower it is to cure it. And the Alumilite, you can stick it down in that box in 10-15 minutes, pull it out, and go fish it with it. So that's the upside to it. What I don't know about the Alumilite, I don't know if it is as durable as the KBS. So we shall see if I'm going to swap, because I'm going to test some of these Alumilite lures out and see if they can hold up to this North Georgia rocky bottoms, and see how they turn out. And if they're going to scratch up, then I'll keep on using the KBS. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope y'all have a good night. Backcountry out.